Hello and welcome to Flicksplained, the channel where we take your favorite flicks and series and break them down to ensure you don't miss a single detail.
Their mother still alive?
Yes.
Good. There will be someone left to raise them.
Some pretty incredible movies came out in 2022, and with it coming to an end, it only feels right that we break down some of the greatest films that hit the big screen this year. So stick around as we take a look at the top 10 best performing movies of 2022. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Coming in at number 10, we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. The sequel to 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog was released on April 8th of this year. And though critics gave it a bit of a hard time, with some saying that the movie was too long, fans couldn't get enough of it. Giving an audience score of 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, general fans of the first movie and the Sonic franchise in general loved everything that we got to see. From Idris Elba's phenomenal voice performance as Knuckles, to finally seeing Sonic go Super Saiyan and conjure up a chili dog. It was everything that we could have wanted. Not to mention that post-credits scene that gave us our first look at our boy Shadow. After releasing in April, Sonic 2 was available to stream on Paramount Plus by the end of the following month. And in that time, it had earned a total of $401,872,904 in the domestic and international box office. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Number 9. Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore. The final installment of the Fantastic Beasts trilogy was released on April 15th, and despite being highly anticipated among fans, it didn't perform nearly as well as most had expected it to. In the month and a half that it ran in theaters, it brought in a total of $405,161,334. The movie mainly focused on the Dumbledore family and the secrets of their past, all whilst Albus Dumbledore himself was assisting Newt to try to stop Grindelwald and his army from eliminating all Muggles on Earth. The biggest change to the movie and the franchise came when the studio decided to drop Johnny Depp, who played Grindelwald in the first two movies, and replaced him with Mads Mikkelsen. The movie handled the change relatively well and managed to explain Grindelwald's appearance change, but it was still hard for some viewers to get past it. The Secrets of Dumbledore received a 46% score from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 83% from the audience. Watergate Bridge. Next up, we have the 8th best performing movie of 2022, Watergate Bridge. Also known as The Battle at Lake Changjin 2, this war film was released in theaters in China on February 1st, 2022. It's an amazing sequel to the first Battle at Lake Changjin and focused on a group of soldiers known as the Chinese People's Volunteers, or CPV. As the CPV tried to carry out a new task, they found themselves working to survive a battlefield that consisted of a crucial bridge that was located on the retreat route for American troops. Even though Watergate Bridge didn't have a breakout release in the United States and only earned $117,294 at the domestic box office, it managed to bring in $626,453,986 through the international box office, bringing the total earned revenue up to $626,571,280 and making it the 8th highest grossing film of 2022. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Coming in as the 7th highest grossing movie of 2022, the Black Panther sequel certainly did not disappoint. Even though it only came out a little over a month ago, I'm sure most of us aren't surprised to see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever made it into the video. It was arguably the most highly anticipated movie of the year, and almost everyone who saw the movie would agree that the creators over at the MCU did an amazing job honouring Chadwick Boseman's memory while managing to pass on the mantle of Black Panther. Wakanda Forever saw T'Challa's younger sister Shuri become the guardian of Wakanda as she was forced to fight the Atlanteans, who were being led by King Namor. But the movie hit on all notes. It was action-packed while also being full of heartwarming moments. Not to mention the fact that it set up multiple upcoming events in the MCU that left a lot of fans wanting more, including introducing the audience to characters like Ironheart. Wakanda Forever hit theaters on November 11th, 2022, and in just a little over a month has earned a total of $732,971,128 at both the domestic and international box office. But that's not the last we'll hear from the MCU in today's video. Thor: Love and Thunder. Sticking with the Marvel trend for number 6, we have Thor: Love and Thunder. The fourth Thor movie was the second theatrical release for the MCU in 2022 by the time it came out in 2022. And by the time the year was over, it had earned a total of $760,672,134 at the box office. This time the audience was granted the gift of not one, but two Thors taking up the big screen, with Chris Hemsworth returning to the iconic role that he has played for the past 11 years, alongside Natalie Portman, who reprised her role as Jane. Only this time, she was also a hammer-wielding beast. If that wasn't cool enough, it was also the first time the fans of Marvel got to see Gore the God Butcher in live action. Christian Bale took on the role of the God Butcher, and as always, knocked it out of the park. If you haven't seen it yet, you can catch Thor Love and Thunder on Disney+, and even though it didn't get the best ratings from critics, it's still a very fun movie to watch if you like the character. The Batman. Number 5, The Batman. One of our favourite movies in today's video and my personal favourite live action version of Batman, with Ben Affleck being a close second. That's right, sue me. I'm Team Battinson all the way, and I'm prepared to die on this hill. With a star-studded cast filled with people like Colin Farrell, Zoe Kravitz, and Andy Serkis, most fans saw that the Batman was going to be a smash hit. And they were right. Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Bruce Wayne was much less flashy than others, and the movie itself was more of a detective story, which made us feel like we were reading an old Batman comic. It gave us something fresh, while also bringing a sense of nostalgia, and whether you were a fan of the character or not, it's hard to deny that Matt Reeves did an amazing job bringing the Batman to the big screen. Releasing on March 4th, fans stormed the theatres to see the newest reboot of the Caped Crusader, and in just the opening weekend, it earned $128,500,000. Since then, the movie continued to work its way up the chart, and by the end of the year, earned a total of $770,836,163 worldwide. Minions: The Rise of Gru. Making its way into the number 4 slot, we have the 5th installment of the Despicable Me franchise, Minions: The Rise of Gru. The Minions returned in this hilarious sequel, only this time they were accompanied by a young version of Gru, as they joined him on his mission to become a member of the villainous Vicious Six. The movie was set in the 1970s, and had a soundtrack that you could jam to in your car for hours. Steve Carell has always been hilarious as Gru, but hearing him put on a child's voice had me laughing the entire time. Now, if you're surprised to see a Minions movie on this list, you should also know that the movie was promoted really well, with a music video being made for the movie by Lyrical Lemonade, and even a TikTok trend started where people would dress up in suits just to go see the movie. That's why I was able to earn a massive $937,230,110 worldwide since it was released on July 1st, 2022. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Number 3, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This was the darkest movie to be set within the confines of the MCU release so far, and it certainly set a new standard for the creepy side of superhero films. Being the first MCU theatrical release of 2022, Doctor Strange also set the bar for the other releases, 2 of which made it into the video. Benedict Cumberbatch returned to star alongside Elizabeth Olsen, whose Scarlet Witch character ended up being the antagonist. The movie will also be remembered for all of the cameos that it gave fans, such as Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier, or even catering to Marvel fanfare by making John Krasinski Mr. Fantastic. And let's not forget all of that death. It was as close to a superhero snuff film as there has been since Avengers: Infinity War. In the year since it was released, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness earned a total of $955,775,804 worldwide. Jurassic World Dominion. Just barely beating Doctor Strange and working its way up to becoming the second best movie of 2022, we have Jurassic World Dominion. Set 4 years after the ending of the second Jurassic World, this movie saw the return of the classic Jurassic Park cast. Sam Neill took up his role as Alan Grant, Jeff Goldblum came back as Ian Malcolm, and Laura Dern returned as Ellie Sattler. It was one of the greatest moments to happen on the big screen since we saw Jason David Frank appear in the 2017 Power Rangers movie. May he rest in peace. Chris Pratt, along with the assistance of the returning cast members, helped turn Jurassic World Dominion into the second highest grossing movie in the world this year, with it earning a total of $1,001,136,080 worldwide. Top Gun Maverick. Last but certainly not least, we have Top Gun Maverick soaring into the number 1 spot as the best performing movie of 2022. Now, This shouldn't really surprise anyone with all of the records that the movie broke after it was released on May 27th, including being only the second movie to reach $1 billion since 2019. In fact, after looking into Tom Cruise's past movies, it turns out that Maverick was his first movie to hit joining the $1 billion club. And that is no small feat for someone who's been working in Hollywood for more than 4 decades. Top Gun Maverick was a sequel that came 36 years after the first one, and it didn't disappoint at all. As promised by Cruise himself, all of the stunts performed in the movie were amazing to watch, and everything from the sound to what we saw on screen was edited to near perfection. Joining Cruise for this adventure was an amazing supporting cast that included Miles Teller, Jennifer Connelly, and even Val Kilmer, who chose to reprise his role as Iceman. The movie was a 2-hour and 10-minute long adrenaline-fueled ride that those who saw in theaters will likely never forget. And I feel like there had to be a ton of people, considering the movie pulled in $1,486,657,763 worldwide, which is practically unheard of from a sequel.